Welcome back to another episode of the 1% Life Podcast. I'm your host, Coach JT. This information is for educational and informational purposes only and is solely a self-help tool for your own use. I'm not providing medical, psychological, fitness, or nutrition therapy. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat any health problem or illness without consulting your own medical practitioner. As always, results of any kind will vary based on each person's unique circumstances, capacity, and work ethic. How many chronic pains do you deal with on a day-to-day basis? Injuries, physical limitations that you've racked up over the years, things that keep you from doing what you want to do or make you modify how you do it on a day-to-day basis. Let me give you an example. I was leaving Lowe's a couple weekends ago, and there's this guy at the end of the aisle towards where I was parked that was trying to adjust the load of some stuff on his truck so he could fit the new stuff on it. Had a rack on top with a ladder, and he's trying to move it over to put some stuff on it. So I watch him struggle as I walk down the aisle. I could see him as soon as I left the store. And so I just kind of veered over to where he was at and asked him if he needed a hand. Took me like 2 seconds. Tossed it over, loaded the new one. And he said, man, if I would have done that, I wouldn't be able to work for a week. My shoulders and my back are wrecked. So, of course, you know what my next question is. What's going on? I haven't been able to push anything overhead or lift anything like that in years. I hurt my shoulders. I recently hurt my back. It's all jacked up. This guy's 56 years old. Successful. Financially successful. Owns his own business. Looks like an old school gym rat. Big arms. Big chest. Big shoulders. Probably never skipped a chest or arm day in his life. Probably never did legs. Clearly doesn't do any cardio. High blood pressure, big gut. So as we get to talking, I find out, sure enough, he's been working out on and off for 15 to 20 years. But for the last 5 to 6 years, his shoulders have been wrecked. His back has been messed up even longer than that. He can't bench press without pain. He can't squat down without assistance because his knees and his back are messed up. He has to ask for help with little crap. If he drops something on the floor, it's a task to get down and get it and get back up. Not because he's not strong enough to do it, because he's incapable at this point. Every morning he wakes up stiff, sore, feels like he's aged another decade, takes him like an hour, hour and a half to even get moving. And what's he doing about it? What's he actively doing to fix all this? The quick answer is zero. But he is treating it. He takes 6 ibuprofen a day. Has a script for anti-inflammatories. Has been to physical therapy on and off for years. Takes gabapentin every day. Gets regular cortisone injections, which are wrecking his ligaments and tendons. Goes to the chiropractor every freaking week. And he swears he has an injury. Doctors tell him he should get surgery on his back, even though they can't tell him exactly what's wrong. They just say you need to get surgery. It's always going to be that way if you don't. He moves like a 90-year-old man. This is what I want to talk about today. This guy doesn't have an injury he can define. Nothing's broken. Nothing's torn. Nothing's dislocated. Nothing's ruptured. He doesn't need surgery. But he does have a deep-rooted, solid belief that he's injured and he's hurt and it's not fixable. It's only treatable, right? Where the money's at. So what that did is that prompted me at the gym last week to just ask a bunch of random people, what chronic pains do you have that are holding you back? What would you fix if you could? So let me tell you what some of those answers were. Male, 56, shoulders and low back pain, can't lift heavy, can't run, can't squat, been that way for 5 to 6 years. Male, 52, ankle injury, surgery 12 months ago. He's limping, it's swollen, it's red, it looks really bad, a little over a year ago. Male, 49, low back pain, it's walking weird, kind of hunched over, glutes and legs completely atrophied, 3 to 4 years. Female, 40, shoulder, neck pain, wrist pain, headaches daily, can't run anymore, used to love doing that, it's been that way for about 9 years. Female, 60, 2 knee braces, can't squat, can't run, can't do stairs. It's been 3 years. Male, 53, Low back pain, used to be a truck driver, now he owns a cleaning business, just missed a week of work because of chronic pain. Guys, these keep going this way. One common theme. Out of all these people, there's only one person that had an injury, and it was over a year ago. And he's worse now than he was right after surgery. Guys, this was me. I was one of these people years ago. Had bad shoulders, had bad hips. My knees hurt so bad I couldn't even walk downstairs. I had to walk downstairs sideways, like side shuffle downstairs with my right leg first. I couldn't jump. Tore my hamstrings running, doing sprints. Couldn't do push-ups. Got to the point where I couldn't even fix the collar on my own shirt because it hurt to raise my arms like that. Chronic pain, prednisone, cortisone shots. Now at 51, zero issues. None. I didn't have a bunch of surgery for it. The only surgery I've ever had are for acute traumatic injuries, ruptures, breaks, things like that. Nothing for all that chronic crap that I created. The reason you're in pain is not because you're injured. A guy at the gym the other day told me he has a broken back. I have a broke back. I can't squat. 90% of the people who think they have an injury do not. Just like the people I talk to at the gym, if you ask them what their injury is, I hurt my back. You know, my knees are just bad. I have degenerative disc disease. I have a bad meniscus. I have bone on bone. So things just went bad? Like you're just falling apart? It's like spoiled milk? What does that even mean? It wasn't an acute traumatic injury. It's years of neglect catching up with your butt. Let's look at actual injury data for a second. Sprains and strains make up about 70%, usually due to overuse, weakness, tightness, completely avoidable, by the way. Tears make up 20 to 25%. Could be prevented if you were more flexible, had better mobility, better joint health. Okay, I've had issues like that because of those issues. Fractures, 10%. Actual breaks from trauma. But here's the kicker. 90% of chronic pain is not from an injury. It's from a dysfunction. If you look at back injuries in particular, which are very high on the charts, everybody's got back problems. The official diagnosis is that for 90% of low back pain, it's non-specific, meaning there's no actual injury. Nobody knows what it is. It just hurts. It's from poor posture, tight muscles, weakness, neglect. It's not an injury. Here's the real cause of pain. Number one, chronic inflammation. Okay, poor diet, stress, lack of sleep. Your body just stays broken down. You're not doing anything to fix it. A cumulative effect of neglect. Second thing would be nerve impingements. Crappy posture, herniated discs, tight muscles. It's where you get radiating pain. Muscular imbalances. Guys, you're notorious for this crap. Crappy range of motion. Being strong in like half the range of motion. Half squats, quarter curls, no mobility movements. Makes you weak in the other half. It leads to breakdown. So in a nutshell, what is all this? If you had to call it one thing, what is it? It's neglect. Weak joints and stabilizers, tight, dysfunctional fascia and connective tissue, and lack of mobility, crappy movement patterns. So most people have a weakness problem. They don't have an injury problem. They're not hurt. They're not injured. They're not broken or torn. So maybe you didn't blow out your knee. Maybe your quads are just stronger than your hamstrings. Maybe it's something simple. Maybe instead of a messed up back, your core is weak and your hips are tight and bound up. Maybe instead of damaged shoulders, right? Maybe your posture's trash. You look at your phone 14 hours a freaking day. You don't do any mobility work. You don't counteract staring at your computer. You think your ankles are shot? Maybe you just have weak feet, terrible mobility. You need to be doing calf work. You need to be doing stretching. Your elbows are wrecked. You're wearing these elbow braces in the gym. Maybe your wrist and shoulders are weak and your form is garbage. The fix is simple. The unfortunate thing is that the vast majority of people are never going to do it. Very few people will ever follow through and do it. They would rather be in chronic pain and complain about it and take medications and modify their whole life than to actually do something about it. I talked to a guy at the gym 6 months ago and said the same exact thing to him, and he was so offended. I told him what he needed to do and said, I'll write something up for you and give it to you, but you're not going to do it. Of course I'm going to do it. Why would you say that? So what did I do? I typed it up. I texted it to him, and he's not doing it. I see him in the gym every single morning. He did it 4 or 5 times. So here's the fix. Strengthen joints and stabilizers first. Do things that you don't typically do. Tibialis raises, ATG split squats, sled drags, grip work. Restore your fascial health, hydration, deep tissue release, active movement. Again, mobility work. Train through full range of motion. Do some dynamic stretching before you train. Do some static stretching and dynamic stretching after you train. Do some loaded mobility work. And then focus on functional training. Stop only training in a straight line, a straight sagittal plane. Remember this, guys. Your body moves in 3 planes of motion. But 90% of people that you ever see only train in one. That's why they're stiff, they're weak, and they're so freaking prone to injury. You ever seen a bodybuilder try to run or do sprints or do yoga or stretch or do anything other than bodybuilding? It's hard to watch. Again, I was one of those people. The remedy is to start training more than just basic sagittal plane front and back movements, which would be like squats and lunges and deadlifts and bicep curls. It builds strength, but not much else. It's good if you want to be a bodybuilder. It's good if you want to look good in a t-shirt, but totally ignores lateral and rotational stability and strength work. It's not functional. It doesn't translate into anything in real life. That's not how you lift a couch. It's not how you push a wheelbarrow. It's not how you pick up your grandkids. It's not how you push a car off the street. So what you need to do is you need to integrate the other 2 planes of movement. Frontal plane, which is side-to-side movements, things like lateral lunges, side shuffles, lateral leg raises, side-to-side ski jumps. Build your stabilizers, your hips, your shoulders, balance, right? Great for injury prevention. And your transverse plane, which is rotational movements. This is probably the most neglected plane of movement of all. Okay, Russian twist, wood choppers, throwing is great, punching, rotational movements. Okay, if you're weak here, this is how you get hurt moving a piece of furniture or lifting pavers off the back of the truck, doing something that's rotational, underweight. That's how so many people get hurt because they don't train that plane of movement. Guys, if you're over 40 and you're walking around blaming chronic pain, stiffness, weak joints, poor mobility, etc., on injuries that never actually happened, and you're going to wait on doctors, meds, 2 days of rehab, chiropractic visits, periodic shots to fix it, you're going to be here until you die. You're not ever changing. It's not going to fix the problem. Right? It's like having a headache every day and taking a Tylenol for it. You may mask the headache, but you don't do anything to fix it, and you're going to have a headache every single day. Why not get rid of the problem and stop the headache altogether? That's what you're trying to do. Our bodies are not as fragile as you think they are. We are designed to move, right? Adapt, repair. There's no bad movements. You have people that say you shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Don't put your knees over your toes. Don't squat down all the way. It's dangerous. That's all BS. There are no bad movements. We have weak links that make the movements dangerous. But if you do the work and you stop blaming old injuries, stop being so freaking one-dimensional, stop only focusing on appearance, and you start adding some functional training in, start training all 3 planes of motion, start doing some movement patterns, dynamic stretching, running, mobility work, yoga, kettlebells, sandbags, body weight movements, functional strength, things that translate to real life. You don't have to have one or the other. You can still look great. You can still be strong. You can still be lean. You can still be muscular. And you can also be functional and pain-free. I'm out. For more content, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. See you.